celebration of 40 years of acknowledging the events of Stonewall in New York in 1969. The importance of that occasion was that it was the first time that there was national attention given to a public response to police harassment of the LGBT constituency in its lair, as it were. And what's very important about today is not only that we celebrate the 40 years that have taken place in which so much has changed in our lives, and that we commemorate those people who have lost theirs in the process, either through the terrible pandemic of AIDS that swept through the constituency, or through other incidents, including violence, because of being gay. And aside from celebrating and commemorating, we must remind ourselves that it is necessary for us to persist until we achieve full, equal, first-class citizenship in this country, and we're not there yet.
Ambassador, you've been watching the LGBT movement for a long time. You've helped a great deal. Plus, you've seen world stage politics. What's the greatest issues you see facing the movement internationally and locally?
Well, internationally, it's a much different situation, because there are countries who follow not the rule of law that is created by the civil statute, but the rule of law that is created through religious institutions. And in those countries, it's going to be very, very difficult to move forward at all in terms of equality. But I think that on a general international scale, we can see how changes have taken place just in Europe, for example. You know, two countries which were regarded as relatively conservative and very firmly Roman Catholic have adopted marriage equality, full-fledged. I don't think anyone a decade ago would have anticipated that. So changes are happening. In some places they will happen quickly, in others it'll be very difficult. And I think that organizations like the European Union and the United Nations are concerned, because they want to move forward toward equality, and at the same time they want to respect the choices that countries make in their own laws.
Thank you.
Ambassador, you told me earlier this week that you were in New York years ago for one of the first Pride celebrations on 6th Avenue. From what you saw on the parade route today to what you saw back in New York all those years ago, what's changed and what's the same?
Well, of course, that was 1970. The event that took place was regarded as a celebration, and what happened in the park was a be-in. The numbers were probably not even a tenth of what we saw today. There were maybe 5,000 marchers. 6th Avenue was only partially closed, and traffic was going uptown on half of the street, while the parade was going uptown on the other half. And construction workers on the girders of the buildings that were going up along 6th Avenue at the time were hooting and hollering and having a good time observing us, and I think we were having a good time observing them. And in the park, when the 5,000 or so marchers arrived, there were maybe another 5,000 people to greet them, and it was a family picnic. It was really a lovely experience, and there was a sense of freedom, because here were all of these people congregating publicly with, in fact, police protection rather than police harassment.